What's up? Different POV today. Here's my lamp still, so you still get some of that. But this has been week 4, recovering a sense of integrity. This week may find you grappling with changing self-definition. The essays, tasks, and exercises are designed to catapult you into productive introspection and integration of new self-awareness. This may be both very difficult and extremely exciting for you. Warning, do not skip the tool of reading deprivation. Spoiler, I did, because I was sick this week. This week covered a lot. But the main part of this week incorporated the idea of like a deprivation of like media consumption, whether that be like books or social media or YouTube or podcasts, like any sort of like us me, I guess, consuming other people's words and thoughts, and the deprivation of that, allows for me to form my own thoughts and like pave my own path in regards of like what exactly it is I'm feeling. There's this really good quote in here. Where is it? Let's find it. Ahaha, by Brenda Euland. The quote is, "We are always doing something, talking, reading, listening to the radio, planning what's next. The mind is kept naggingly busy on some easy, unimportant, external thing all day." Which means there's no time to, think for yourself or think like, what do I like? What do I want? What do I? The process of identifying a self inevitably involves loss as well as gain. We discover our boundaries, we arrive at clarity, and clarity creates change. It's kind of like being in a vacuum, like, is the causation of like when we really start to bloom, because it's like when all the distractions go away, it's like, who am I at the end of the day? Like, who am I? And a great way to find this out is like by, showing up to the morning pages every single day. As this says, as we notice which friends bore us, which situations leave us stifled, we are often rocked by waves of sorrow. We may want our illusions back. We want to pretend the friendship works. We don't want the trauma of searching for another job. And this is very interesting, like the notion of, we cling to these illusions, we cling to these things that may not serve us but make us feel comfortable and safe, because change is scary, and like figuring out what we actually want and like is very scary, because that involves an internal shift. Let's find this. We got more stuff. Here it is. About the morning pages aspect of this. In short, the morning pages point the way to reality. This is how you're feeling. What do you make of that? And what we often make of that is art. I don't know if I said this last week, but my thoughts are way more in order because I've been highlighting and starring things and responding to things, and it's just made it much easier to figure all of this stuff out. But yeah, the main thing is just like being alone, and the reading deprivation is a big part of this week. I remember when I first did the Artist Way when I had some friends who had done it before me, they're like, ooh, week 4. Ooh, week 4. Oh. And here I am again. I'm gonna just read some other things that I've highlighted, and then I'm gonna talk about my experience with the reading deprivation this week. Until we experience the freedom of solitude, we cannot connect authentically. We become original. Okay, this is one I starred and like underlined. We become original because we become something specific, an origin from which work flows. Because I think it's so often we're like, but what do I have to say? It's like everything I think has all been said, or I look like so many people, or I act like so many people. Like, how in the world would I be different or stand out from anyone else? And I think it's easy to have those doubtful thoughts. And here it says we become original because we become something specific. Everyone is different. Everyone has a different, parents, how they were raised, where they were raised, what values they were raised on, what religion they were based in, what friends they had, where they were in their social standing in school, where they went to school, where area of town they went to school, who their family was outside of the, nuclear family. So everyone's different. We gain or regain our creative identity. As we gain or regain our creative identity, we lose the false self we were sustaining. The loss of this false self can feel traumatic. Quote, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't recognize me. Unquote. Which I think just goes in hand with the trauma of like losing who you are and like who you once were and what you were holding on to, and how that leads the way to changing yourself and what you believe in and how you believe in yourself. And this is something I also starred and underlined. Quote, one of the clearest signals that something healthy is afoot is the impulse to weed out, sort through, and discard of old clothes, papers, and belongings. I've been doing that for weeks now. I've just had the impulse to literally clear out my whole room. Like, I'm just like, this needs to go, this needs to go, this needs to go, this needs to go, this needs to go. I'm like giving away all of my clothes. I'm giving away all of my knickknacks, all of my shoes, like all the things that I'm like, I don't wear this anymore. I don't need this anymore. I'm not going to need this in the future. I don't have any emotional attachment to it. It is okay if I let it go. So that was something I underlined because I was like, that is crazy. I've been doing that like for the last month. Is just, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how can I be as minimalist as possible? I'm like, literally, I'm just like, get rid of all the things that I do not need and just leave me with the things that I love. Leave me with the things that I love. Get rid of all the noise. Get rid of everything outside of it, because that makes room for more things that you love. New, more interesting things that align with your new self. What else? Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, this is this. As it talks about, like, you're shedding, you're emerging into something new, you're grieving your old self, you're welcoming your new self. And this is something that also really spoke to me about the idea of rest. She says, it is normal to yearn for some rest when you are moving so rapidly. What you will learn to do is rest in motion, like lying down in a boat. Your morning pages are your boat. They will both lead you forward and give you a place to recuperate from your forward motion. I'll put this aside. As you may or may not tell, I was like crazy sick this week. Like, I felt like I was on my deathbed. I had the flu, not COVID. I had the flu. I was just in my bed. Like, I had a fever. I was like sweating, full body aches, chills, I still have sinus issues right now. I can't really hear. I can't taste because I can't smell. And so I've been dealing with that for the last week. And I think it was literally my body being like, you will rest. You will be alone and you will rest your body. And you won't push yourself. You will listen to yourself. You will understand that you need rest. You will understand that you need to recuperate. So I think literally that was the universe just being like, bruh, you're going to lie down and you're not going to do anything. See what happens. See what happens. Because again, the main thing of the reading deprivation is to, not consume media, not consume anything to, so you can make space in your head and your mind and your body for new things and new experiences and your own thoughts and your own things that you think of. But I think I was really taught, like, listening to my body this week. I think that was a big thing. Like, don't push yourself when you're sick because otherwise your body will retaliate like 10 times worse. So it's like, get that rest, get that recuperation, get that relaxation. Because I did break. Newsflash, I broke the reading deprivation. I was on social media like this whole week because I could not move. I was literally stuck to my bed. Even if I wanted to, mend some clothes or edit a video, it's like I didn't have the brain space for that. My body was just like completely drained. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to re-download Instagram. Yeah, I'm going to watch YouTube shorts. Yeah, I'm going to watch, TV or watch a movie. Because, like, what else do you do when you're sick? I was like, I'm not going to mend the whole day. Like, I watch a movie when I'm sick. So I just think it's interesting because usually I'm not on social media at all, so especially in the last few months. So the fact that the week of reading deprivation, I re-downloaded everything when usually I am kind of in just a reading deprivation state as a human, just like how I've been for recent months. I've been in a reading deprivation, and the week that I'm supposed to do a reading deprivation, I can't. Anyway, so I was listening to my body more so than I was listening to other people's thoughts and opinions, because I was getting a lot of that this week from my reels. Yeah, being alone, I was doing a lot of that this week. And something I didn't mention last week was, I think with these pages I've started to realize my sexuality. I recently developed a crush. Maybe I said this. I recently developed a crush on a woman at my new job. Like an intense crush on a woman that I've never really felt before. Like those have always been like kind of like crushes that I've had on like men, cis men, trans men too, but mainly for cis men. So it was kind of a shock to me. I was like, why am I having like these same like butterfly feelings that I usually have around like men? And I've been like, in my morning pages, I've been like thinking about all the fears that I've had around sex and intimacy and all the fears that I've had around like dating. And then in my head, it's like all these fears are surrounded by the thought of like dating men. And then in my morning pages, I'm like, bro, I might just not be attracted to cis men. I might not. And that's okay. And I think in my head for so long, I've been like forcing myself, because I'm like, that's just normal. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I've been conditioned to do. That's what my friends like, so I should like that. And if I don't like that, then I'm weird. Then I'm the outcast. But it's like, bro, I have so many lesbian friends. I have so many queer friends. And I don't really know what my label is now, but it's like, I identified as bisexual. But I think the farther that I strayed away from heteronormativity, like the scarier that felt. So like being bi, like that kind of felt safer than like being a lesbian, or just like not being attracted to cis men. Like that felt scarier than just being bi. Like, oh yeah, like I've always known that I've been attracted to women, but I've like kind of more leaned towards men. I'm like, I'm gonna date a man because that's like what I'm supposed to do. So it's been very interesting, like the idea of like lesbianism and like my tie to being like my tie to like sapphicness, if you call it, has just been very interesting. Because like the thing is, I'm still attracted to like trans men and non-binary people, so I guess I can still refer to myself as a lesbian on that front. Because like when I really think about it, I'm like, I don't think I've ever been attracted to cis men. Every time I've imagined myself dating a cis man, when I did date a cis man, it's like I was terrified the whole time. I've never, and the thought of like reintegrating myself into dating a cis man like really kind of scares me. So I think that's been very interesting. It's kind of led for that, because that's something that's been trapped inside of me for years. I think I've always been like a lesbian. I think I always have been. But it's just been the like deconditioning of like family or culture or society or what my friends are attracted to. It's like, it's just complicating. And it's like when you really listen to yourself, it's like, okay, I was fearful about sex. I was fearful about intimacy because I was fearful about sex and intimacy with a cis man, with men. I was fearful about that. I was trying to get to the root of it. I'm like, I don't understand why I'm so scared. I don't understand why, like, I'm scared of sex. I'm scared of intimacy. It's like, girl, you don't even like them. And when you think of, like, having sex with a woman or with a trans man, it's like, that sounds so much better. That sounds like way less fearful, fear-inducing. So it's like, my body already knows. My body already knows that. And I'm just realizing it now. My body's like, girl, we left the station. We been knew. Where were you? Where were you? You were being scared? You didn't know? You were confused? We knew. When we sent you those anxious signals, when we sent those fearful signals, what do you think that was? Butterflies? Butterflies? So that has been a huge realization recently. And it's made me feel so much better and so much lighter in terms of like dating in the future. Like, I don't really see myself dating right now, but like in the future, I don't feel scared. Bruh. That's huge for me. I've always been scared. I've never been in like a relationship. I've had romantic, physical, and intimate situationships. I hate that fucking word. I hate that word. With a man and a woman. Truly equal playing field. And I think in my head I've been like, oh, you're so naive, or oh, you're so behind, or oh, you don't know anything. Like you haven't had the experiences, so you don't know. And I gaslight myself. It's like, no. I am my own timeline. It is okay. It is okay that I don't find cis men attractive. Well, I think I can still find them attractive. But it's like, I don't think I'm sexually attracted to them. And that's okay. But in my head, I've been gaslighting myself for years. I'm like, it's not okay. So, call that a frickin' dub. A frickin' dub. I did it. I did it, guys. I did it. Ugh. I feel so much better. Truthfully, I feel so much better. And that's been the main thing I think I've been realizing. Also, I've been going to stand-up class. This is going to be my 3rd week. Come Sunday, it's my 3rd week of stand-up class. Oh my God, I feel like my inner child is like beaming right now. Because I get to perform in front of people. I get to be a little messy and sloppy and funny and in front of people who are also very nervous and new at this, and it's so fun. And I really do feel like I tap into like my playfulness and my spirituality, because I feel like I'm being me, and I feel like I am like doing something I know deep inside is like, that's what I wanted to do as a kid. Like, that's the stuff that I want to do, is perform and be engaging and make people laugh and have people watch me and do things, perform, to act, to be a comic, to be a stand-up, to sing. Like, that's all the stuff that, this is deep, but it's like, I feel like I was put on this earth to sing, to make people laugh, to act, to be in front of an audience, to use my being as a vehicle, to use my stories, to use my voice. And I've known that since I was a kid. Like, that's what I've been put on this earth to do. I was given a great voice. I was given amazing storytelling capabilities, amazing acting chops. I was given that, and I know I have that. And I think I've been beaten down by so many people and situations and environments that I start to not believe that anymore, and I like strayed away from that. Anyway, this felt like a good week. Good realizations, just some good shit. Thanks for listening. If you are listening, maybe this is still just for me. Thank you, Sage, for doing what you do. I deleted Instagram, so I think this next week is going to be my reading deprivation again. I also deleted YouTube officially off my phone, so all of it is just on my desktop. So it really does make me not go on it a ton, if at all. Anyway, I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye.